Frederick Scott Archer, an Englishman, developed the collodion emulsion process in 1848. Within a few years, this method would replace almost all other photographic processes, succeeding even the daguerreotype by 1857. Like all photographs, collodion wet plate negatives consist of a base, a binder, and a light-sensitive material. With Archer's process, collodion, the binder, was poured evenly over a glass base. The plate was then sensitized in a solution of silver nitrate. Chemical action would form a light-sensitive compound of silver iodide or silver bromide on the surface of the collodion film. As the sensitized plate dried, the film would lose its speed. This meant that the plate had to be prepared, exposed in the camera, and immediately developed while the film was still wet, an average time of 10 minutes. From these limitations came invention: collapsible tents, portable darkrooms on pushcarts, and horse-drawn darkroom wagons moved with photographers, and pictures were made. Today we can identify collodion wet plate negatives by their appearance and physical makeup. The plates were hand-cut and often thick with ground edges. The surface of wet plate negatives show tide lines where the collodion swirled around, missing corners and occasionally leaving thumbprints. The silver image, when viewed by reflected light, appears light tan or gray. With a black background behind it, these images give the illusion of being positive. When viewed straight on, the emulsion side of these negatives should appear dull. However, most collodion negatives were varnished, giving them a high gloss. This varnish was meant to protect the photographic images from scratching. Ironically, what once protected these negatives now harms them. Varnish makes it difficult to determine which side of a negative is the glass side and which side is the emulsion side. In past, enthusiastic conservators have attempted to clean off glass and instead damaged emulsions. Varnish also causes problems with age. Over time, it deteriorates, fracturing into tiny segments and flaking off. As it chips, it takes the collodion with it, breaking down images. Under some conditions, this same varnish can soften and thicken, sticking to other materials. Varnish does not last, and neither do photographs. Numerous elements threaten the survival of photographic images: light, heat, humidity, pollutants, residual chemicals from processing, direct physical contact with harmful materials, fungi, insects, human mishandling, disasters, and even deterioration from internal or external causes. To counter these threats and extend the usable lives of collodion glass plate negatives, consider these practices. Duplicate negatives where you can. Store glass plates in controlled environments with low temperature and humidity levels. Handle fragile negatives carefully and train staff and patrons to do the same. Never stack glass plates on uneven surfaces where their weight can break them. Keep glass plates in the dark when they are not being used. Filter the air in your storage areas and avoid furniture that off-gasses harmful chemicals. Most importantly, learn how to care for your materials before you take action. Doing the wrong things in enthusiastic ignorance can result in more damage than thoughtless neglect.